What's up, y'all? It's your boy Ace. This is Fantasized Football. We are back once again, bringing y'all some more fantasy football content for the 2021 fantasy football season. And it's Friday. You know what time it is. Fridays mean mock draft. So here we are. But this time, we are back on Sleeper. The ADP is getting sharp over here, so I wanted to go ahead and do another mock here. But before we get into the specifics of what we are going to be doing today, quickly wanted to shout out each and every one of you for coming by on a weekly basis, spending a little time with your boy, helping the channel grow. It really honestly means the world to me. And if you're new, thank you for coming by, giving me a little bit of your time. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I can't put it into words how much it means to me. Thank you so very much. And if you do enjoy this video at any point, make sure to drop a like, drop a comment, and subscribe to the channel. It really helps the channel grow. Help me reach that goal of 200 subscribers on YouTube by the end of the fantasy football seasons. All the links for my podcast, the podcast version, I should say, for all my socials can be found down in the description. But let's get right into it. Today, we are doing a 12-team half PPR mock from the 3 spot on Sleeper. We've almost ran the whole damn gauntlet, right? 1 through 12. We got 3 to do this week, 11 to do next week, and we ran the gauntlet. But don't worry, there will be more mocks to come, my friends. But yes, here we are on Sleeper, 12-team from the 3 spot, half PPR. We're doing 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, double flex with a tight end, and 7 bench spots this week. So here we go. Let's get it started, get into the main event, and start our draft. So we see, wow, a little different. We see Dalvin Cook and then Christian McCaffrey. Could happen in half PPR. Some people are going to be a little bit nervous about Christian McCaffrey, but generally you'll see McCaffrey and Dalvin Cook go 1 and 2, maybe sometimes Derrick Henry. And on that note, I'm going to go ahead and draft Derrick Henry here. On Sleeper, I do have to put a time limit, so I have it at 3 minutes. I will have time to talk through these picks, but Derrick Henry in a great offense and half PPR where catches aren't as important. I especially like Derrick Henry, over 2,000 yards last season. With the addition of Julio Jones, this offense is only going to become more and more potent. But after we go with Derrick Henry, we see Alvin Kamara, Saquon Barkley, Jonathan Taylor, Nick Chubb, Tyreek Hill, Zeke, Devontae Adams, Cam Akers, and Aaron Jones round out the first. The second starts with DeAndre Hopkins, Austin Eckler, Stephon Diggs, Travis Kelce, Joe Mixon, George Kittle, DK Metcalf, Calvin Ridley, and Antonio Gibson. And now we are back on the clock, and obviously we went with Derrick Henry. So let's go ahead, take a look here. I'm sorry, let me pull up my our roster right over here on the side there. You see him, the man, the myth, the legend, Derrick Henry. Let's look at running back real quick. We got Najee, we got DeAndre Swift, Clyde, Dobbins, Montgomery, Carson at wide receiver. A.J. Brown still there, Justin Jefferson, Michael Thomas, Keenan Allen. So tight end, Waller's there in full PPR. Maybe I consider that here, but it's just a little bit too early for me in half PPR. So you know what? I see 3, 4 wide receivers that I'm really comfortable with still available here that should fall back to me. We have 4 picks till our next pick. Oops. I would assume that at least one of these 2 guys is going to go with at least 1 wide receiver, so or at least 1 running back, I should say. So let me make sure I lock up a guy I'm very comfortable with in half PPR. We're going to go ahead and take rookie of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Najee Harris, right? Okay. So Najee's in for a big workload, right? He should be the workhorse running back in the system. It's him, Benny Snell. They invested first-round draft capital on him. I expect this to be a good offense this year, so I'm fine with Najee Harris here in the back half of the second round. So after we go with Najee, we see Justin Jefferson. Mahomes round out the end of the second round. That's a little early for Mahomes, but you will probably see this in a lot more casual leagues. The third starts Clyde and A.J. Brown, and now it's back on us. And you know what? We're going over to wide receiver. We could go with Darren Waller here, but there's a wide receiver that really sticks out to me here, and it's Michael Thomas, man. How soon we forget that Michael Thomas was like the consensus #1 receiver just last year, right? He had a bad year, obviously, last season. He was banged up. He didn't score any touchdowns. He should regress to the mean, right? Especially if it's Jameis. I especially like Michael Thomas, but even with Taysom Hill, I'm okay with it because in the games Taysom Hill started, he was hyper targeting Michael Thomas. So here we are with the start of Derrick Henry, Najee Harris, and Michael Thomas. I really, really like this. After we went with Michael Thomas, we see Terry McLaurin, Darren Waller, DeAndre Swift, David Montgomery, Allen Robinson, J.K. Dobbins, Miles Sanders, Keenan Allen, and Josh Jacobs. And the 4 starts with Mike Evans, Josh Allen, Julio Jones, Amari Cooper, Lamar, Chris Carson, DJ Moore, Chris Godwin, and Kenny Golladay. And now it is back on us, my friends. So let's look over here at running back. We got Kareem Hunt, Myles Gaskin, ETN, Mike Davis is still available. So I'm okay with Myles Gaskin or Mike Davis as my running back 3 here, right? And I think that one of these two will fall back to me, right? Unless team 2 doubles up on running back with both of our guys here before our next pick, we should be fine because team 1 is going to need to get a wide receiver, probably 2 wide receivers there. So I'm going to risk it for the biscuit. Go ahead, look at wide receiver, look at tight end, Mark Andrews, Hawkinson. A little too early for them. Quarterback, we're not going to be doing that just yet in the 4th round. So let's look at wide receiver. We have Robert Woods, CeeDee Lamb, Thielen, Cooper Kupp, etc., etc., etc. Now, I like Robert Woods a little bit better, especially in full PPR. But you know what? We do a lot of Robert Woods drafting. And like I said, we do like to diversify things. We like to have some diversity on our team so we have a larger range of outcomes, right? If Robert Woods busts and we have him on every team, then all of our teams kind of are in a tough spot. So you know what? In half PPR, where catches aren't as important, Robert Woods should have a lot of catches. CeeDee Lamb should too, but CeeDee Lamb has a whole lot of upside. So I'm going to go ahead and grab him here as my wide receiver 2. And after we go with CeeDee Lamb, we see Adam Thielen, Robert Woods round out the 4th. The 5th starts with Kareem Hunt and Myles Gaskin. And we already kind of talked about what we plan on doing here. So let's just go ahead and execute and grab Mike Davis. We talked about him earlier this week. That is Mike Davis. He's in a position right now to be the lead back in this Atlanta Falcons offense that I do think will be a high-octane offense. Should be involved in the passing game as well. Matt Ryan does tend to target the running back position. So I love Mike Davis, and I think he is a tremendous, tremendous value here in the 5th round. So after we go with Mike Davis, we see Chase Edmonds, Dak, Mark Andrews, Kyler Murray, Travis Etienne, Justin Herbert. Quarterbacks going early here. Got to keep that in mind. Cooper Kupp, Tyler Lockett, Deontay Johnson round out the 5th. The 6th starts with Russell Wilson, Kyle Pitts, Jamar Chase, Odell, Brandon Ayuk, Melvin Gordon, T. Higgins, DJ Chark, and TJ Hawkinson goes one spot before us. That's so unfortunate. I would have loved to get TJ Hawkinson here at the 6'10", but unfortunately, that's the way things go sometimes. But we're relatively balanced, right? We start off with Derrick Henry, Najee Harris in the first 2 rounds. Then we get Michael Thomas and CeeDee Lamb and Mike Davis as our first flex. Now, keep in mind, this is double flex. So I could go with another running back here if I wanted to and start them week in and week out. I don't love what's available with Raheem Mostert, James Robinson, Javonte Williams, etc., etc., etc. So let's go ahead and look over at wide receiver. I mean, we could take a quick look at quarterback. Aaron Rodgers, no, because I don't know what's happening with him, and I probably wouldn't draft him here anyways, maybe in my next pick. But running back, I'm not too hot on. Tight end, we have Goddard. Again, a little bit too early for him right after Hawkinson. But at wide receiver, we have Chase Claypool, Courtland Sutton, Juju, Robbie Anderson. And you know, man, I love Claypool. I like Juju a little better in full PPR. But how can I say no? I'm sorry. I do it all the time. I said I want to diversify so much, but I can't help myself here at the 6'10". I'm taking Courtland Sutton. I'm doing it. That's my guy. Courtland Sutton, baby. That's my guy. So we take Courtland Sutton here at the 6'10", right? And then after that, Debo, Claypool come off. The 7 starts with Noah Fant and Raheem Mostert. But yeah, on the note of Courtland Sutton, man, there's just a lot of upside there. And if he's the alpha in this offense, they're going to have to throw the ball a lot. They should be improved. And if Teddy Bridgewater takes over, he supported Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, and Curtis Samuel last season. So there's no reason to believe why he couldn't support 2 top tier, or not top tier, but high-end wide receiver 2s, middling wide receiver 2s, and Jerry Jeudy and Courtland Sutton if need be, right? So it's back on us. We got 3 receivers. We got 3 running backs. Now I have a little decision to make. Juju's still there. So is Robbie Anderson. Probably wouldn't go with Robbie and or Juju. Neither of these guys I'm really super hot on. Our starting lineup in terms of running back and wide receiver and our flexes is filled up. Quarterback, again, not really looking at that there. But my question is, do I want to lock in Dallas Goedert here? Or do I want to go with either Juju or Javonte Williams? Now, if I don't take Dallas Goedert, I'm going to be stuck with somebody I'm not very comfortable with. Let's see, if we look at wide receiver or running back even, we got guys a little further down here that I'm okay with as our 4. Wide receiver. You know what? Let's just lock in Dallas Goedert, right? Let's just lock in a guy that I feel pretty comfortable with that I can start every week, right? So I don't have to waste my waiver priority, waste my fab on a tight end streaming position. I don't think Dallas Goedert has mega upside to finish top 3, top 4, top 5, maybe top 5. But I do have him in a tier of his own above like Noah Fant, who's right below him for me. And Kyle Pitts kind of teeters somewhere between the Dallas Goedert tier and the TJ Hawkinson tier. Probably more towards the Hawkinson tier, but there's a lot of risk there. And I feel pretty safe with Dallas Goedert. So after we would go with Goedert, we see Damian Harris, Juju, Javonte, Robbie Anderson, James Robinson, Ronald Jones, Devontae Smith, David Johnson, and Kenyon Drake. And then it comes back to A starts with Jerry Jeudy, Leonard Fournette, Jalen Hurts, Curtis Samuel, Jarvis Landry, Brandon Cooks, Aaron Rodgers, Zach Moss, and Tom Brady. And it's back on us. Let's pull this back up here. I wanted to put that down so you guys could see the board. Now we're balanced, so let's look at wide receiver. We have Will Fuller, Boyd, Jalen Waddle. Running back, we have Trey Sermon, James Conner, Michael Carter. All right, so we have two picks before coming up, but we have 4 picks in between those 2 picks. I apologize. So team 1 has 3 running backs, 2 wide receivers. Team 2 has 3 running backs, 4 wide receivers. They're probably going to be looking at a quarterback or a tight end here. That is team 2. Team 1 will probably be leaning towards wide receivers. So I think that we will be okay waiting a little bit to get our running back. So do we go wide receiver here? Do we lock in? Who's their quarterback? Stafford, Burrow, Tannehill. I'm okay with any of those 3, but if any of them go, it's rough. You know what? We have 3 strong running backs. 3 strong wide receivers. I want to make sure I have more depth at running back, if anything. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lock in James Conner here in the 8th round. He does have the upside to take over and be like a Kenyon Drake light of last season, where if he's even 80% of what Kenyon Drake was, Kenyon Drake finished as a top 15 running back last season, right? And we didn't like that for Drake because we were drafting him in the 5th round. But if you're getting James Conner in the 8th round and he gets you 8 touchdowns, 800 yards and throws in a couple catches there and half PPR, that's just fine as a flex and a bye week substitution. So after we go with James Conner, we see Matt Stafford and Will Fuller round out the 8th. The 9th starts with Michael Carter and Logan Thomas. So Stafford's off the board. You know what? I don't want to end up without one of these guys, and I don't think they'll make it back to me. Let's see. Does everyone have a quarterback? Everyone does have a quarterback but me, don't they? Yeah. This guy's got Aaron Rodgers. It's a guy with Jalen Hurts. You never know, man. Let's just make sure we lock it in. Let's get Ryan Tannehill here, right? Let's just make sure we get Tannehill because, like I said, he does have tremendous upside with Derrick Henry kind of taking the defense's attention away from the passing game, at least to a certain degree. With Julio and A.J. Brown there, there's just so much upside there for Ryan Tannehill with that sneaky rushing upside as well. So after we go with Tannehill, we see Gesicki, Trey Sermon, Joe Burrow, Tyler Boyd, Jalen Waddle, LaVisca, A.J. Dillon, Tunyon, and Trevor Lawrence. And then the 10th starts with Marquise Brown, Singletary, Gus Edwards, Corey Davis, and Antonio Brown, not A.J. Brown. I wish it was Antonio Brown in the 10th. A.J. Brown in the 10th. Irv Smith, Naeem Hines, Tyler Higbee, and Michael Gallup. And now it is back on us. Let's pull this up. We do need to get another wide receiver here. We have our boy, Michael Pittman, Mike Williams, Devontae Parker, Marvin Jones, Rashad Bateman. You know what? Let's grab Devontae Parker here. Devontae Parker's getting a little bit slept on here, man. He could still be the wide receiver 1. He has the longest tenure in this offense out of everyone there. Will Fuller is new. Tua does have a connection with Jalen Waddle, but he is a rookie as well. So I do like Devontae Parker here in the 10th round. I think that's good value to be my wide receiver 4. Now, after that, we see Pittman, Rob Gronkowski, Pittman to 10-11. Rob Gronkowski, and then the 11 starts with Mike Williams and Tony Pollard, and it's back on us. We got 4 running backs, 4 receivers. We got our quarterback, we got our tight end. We're kind of locked in. Maybe looking at one more running back, and then probably just finishing off with wide receiver, maybe a backup tight end or a backup quarterback. Now, all right, there's only one other guy here that I would look at running back. Is it worth it though? We have a long time till our next pick. We have 4 running backs that we're confident in. You know what? Let's just do it. Let's lock in Jamal Williams here to be our running back 5, and then we're good on the position. We have guys that I feel like I can kind of, put in on bye weeks or whatever in the cases of James Conner and Jamal Williams, or if an injury happens, there's an injury to Chase Edmonds or to DeAndre Swift. Both James Conner and Jamal Williams have elite upside. And Mike Davis and Najee Harris and Derrick Henry, that is my running back core, and I am happy with that. So after we go with Jamal Williams, we see Latavius Murray, Baker Mayfield, Darrell Henderson, Darnell Mooney, Hunter Henry, my boy, Rashad Bateman, Matt Ryan, Marvin Jones, Jonnu Smith round out the 11th, and the 12th starts with Henry Ruggs, Kirk Cousins, Evan Engram, Carson Wentz, Alexander Madison, Justin Fields, Aguilar, Hilton, and Mecole Hardman. And now it is back on us, and we're probably going to be rounding out our team mostly with wide receiver depth. Let's see who's available. We have Elijah Moore, Jalen Reagor, Cole Beasley, Russell Gage, Rondell Moore, Jameson Crowder. You scroll a little further down, you do see John Brown. But the guy right at the top of the list is very interesting to me. That is Elijah Moore of the New York Jets. Rookie first-round pick. Should have a role right away in this offense for the Jets, and he's my wide receiver 5. If it doesn't work out, I could always cut him, but he would be a guy that I'd be looking to hold on to because I expect him to get more and more involved as the season goes on. And if Zach Wilson pans out and Elijah Moore pans out, then we are looking good with him as our wide receiver 5. So after Elijah Moore, we see Cole Beasley, Phillip Lindsay round out the 12th. The 13th starts with Russell Gage and Tariq Cohen. And now it is back on us. Let's take a quick look at tight end. We got Hooper, Zach Ertz, Jared Cook, Cole Kmet. See, I feel relatively safe with Dallas Goedert, so I feel like Austin Hooper is more of like a safety valve. Isn't very necessary here. Let's look at quarterback. Tua, Watson, Trey Lance, blah, 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 blah. Nah, I'm good. I'll pass. Let's go ahead and look at wide receiver then. You have Reagor still there, Rondell Moore, Jameson Crowder, Paris Campbell, John Brown. Yep. Let's go ahead and take John Brown of the Las Vegas Raiders, right? John Brown was really good a couple of years ago for the Bills. He was hurt last season, but he comes into an opportunity where he should be the top wide receiver. Darren Waller, obviously the top option in the offense, but John Brown should be the number 2 option, the number 1 wide receiver on the team. And if he gets 100 some odd targets, 100 plus targets in the 13th round, you really can't be mad at that. And if it doesn't work out, you can just cut him and grab somebody off of waivers. But after we go with John Brown, we see Deshaun Watson, Jalen Reagor, Kenneth Gainwell, Jameson Crowder, Tua, McKissick, Zach Ertz, Rondell Moore, and Austin Hooper. And the 14th starts with Tevin Coleman, Terrace Marshall. Ooh, that hurts. Chuba Hubbard, Jared Cook, Cole Kmet, Christian Kirk, Adam Troutman, Rashad Penny, and Denzel Mims. And now it is back on us. So we got 5 running backs. We got 4 wide receivers. We got 3 picks left. And we're probably just looking at wide receiver unless there's some that court. Ooh, sweetie. I don't hate that. Let's look at tight end too. I'm pretty confident. Pretty confident in Ryan Tannehill. So you know what? I'm going to take Blake Jarwin. Let me look at wide receiver. Anything that I'm missing out on, really? No, nothing too crazy. I'm going to take Blake Jarwin here because Blake Jarwin got a lot of hype last season, and then he obviously got hurt. Dalton Schultz is still there, but if he becomes the primary tight end on an offense that very well could be quite pass happy. I know I mentioned earlier that, not earlier today, but earlier this week in my players with the most bust potential video, that the Cowboys offense could be a lot better this season and in turn not throw the ball as much, but it is within the range of outcomes that they are in a lot of game scripts that call for them to throw the ball quite frequently. And that's the case, then everybody could eat. And Blake Jarwin here in the 14th round, it's kind of just a dart throw to pair with Dallas Goedert. We can mix and match. If Blake Jarwin doesn't work out in the first few weeks, again, we can always just cut him to get somebody off of waivers. So after Jarwin, we see Daniel Jones, Trey Lance, who I was considering, and then the 15th starts with Sterling Shepard and Marlon Mack, and now it is back on us. Let's pull this up. We're just going with a couple wide receivers. Let's look at running back. James White, Sony Michel. Nothing really sticks out to me there at all. Wide receiver, we have Paris Campbell, Amon-Ra, Emmanuel Sanders, Bashad Perriman. We're going to go ahead and take Amon-Ra St. Brown, a guy that I really like, should play in the slot. Jared Goff obviously has a history with slot receivers with Cooper Kupp, and that could in turn move over to Amon-Ra St. Brown on the lines. He is a rookie 4th round pick, but again, it's just a dart throw late here. So after Amon-Ra, we see Emmanuel Sanders, Sony Michel, Paris Campbell, James White, Gio Bernard, Darrell Williams, Todd Gurley, AJ Green, and Malcolm Brown. And then the 16 starts with Ramondre Stevenson, Keyshawn Vaughn, Darrington Evans, Mark Ingram, LaMichael Pirine, Javion Hawkins, Bashad Perriman, Carlos Hyde, and Justin Jackson. And now it is back on us. Let's take a look here at running back. Anything? Ooh, that is ugly. Le'Veon McKinnon, Josh, nope, good. Wide receiver. Oh, this is a no-brainer, isn't it? Yeah, it's a no-brainer. Yeah, it's a no-brainer. I'm taking Gabe Davis. It's a no-brainer. It's easy. Gabe Davis. Boom. That's it. That's the draft, y'all. Let's look at the team real quick. So, look at it position by position. Ryan Tannehill is our quarterback. Derrick Henry, Najee Harris, RB1, RB2. Michael Thomas, CeeDee Lamb, wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2. Mike Davis and Courtland Sutton as our flex with Dallas Goedert at tight end. Then we got a combination of James Conner, Devontae Parker, Jamal Williams to kind of move in there in the flex spots in bye weeks. Elijah Moore and John Brown as well. Then we got some more kind of upside with Blake Jarwin, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Gabriel Davis. If any of those guys hit, then we're looking very, very good. But it's a balanced team. It's a team I'm comfortable with. We don't have too much positional advantage, but Ryan Tannehill actually could be. He could finish top 5 at the position, right? With this improved offense, with his rushing upside. And then Goddard as well should be relatively safe, but we're strong everywhere else and we have a lot of depth, which is always nice. But that's a mock. Let me know down in the comments what y'all thought. If you guys agree, disagree with any of my picks, any mocks you want to see in the future, different formats, different league sizes, whatever it may be, please let me know down in the comments. Any other videos you'd like to see, any subjects, any particular players you'd like to hear me talk about. I love to get some feedback from you guys. Really, really, honestly would appreciate that. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Help me reach my goal of 200 subscribers on YouTube by the end of the fantasy football season. I would really, really appreciate it. But that's it. That's all. That's all there is. Me, my boy, we are out for the week. We will catch y'all next time. And as always, thank you, love you, peace.